Hello and welcome to Chloé Digital Get Monkey Concessions in association with iFabbo. I'm coming here today to bring you 5 things that I've learned since working with bloggers since 5 years ago. And it's going to be unedited, raw. I'm just going to reel them off. So if it doesn't really make sense, you can email me and be like, what the hell were you talking about? Okay, so number 1, tip 1, I've got my notes here. Important content at the top. So, not a lot of people, unless you've got like an infinite scroll website, scroll to the bottom of your website. Like, sorry to disappoint you, they don't. So why would you put any important contact information or anything that you really want them to read at the bottom? It doesn't make sense. So you should put all important information at the top of your blog. So, for example, your contact details, about you, any extra services that you offer, any awesome things you're doing, they should be at the top of your blog. So when people come on, it's like, oh, she does this, or oh, he's really cool at that. So yeah, important information always at the top. That's tip 1. Tip 2 is relevant tags. So like sometimes I go on people's blogs and they've just got like crazy amount of tags and it's like, why? Like it's not relevant. Like only keep your tags relevant and also consistent. So if you're going to use, for example, shoes on one post and then shoe on the second post, that's silly. You should always use shoes. So that way it builds up a bundle of posts with that same tag. So when people do search by tag, they get all of those posts. And I guess if you were going to do shoe and shoes, you should do shoe and shoes on them all. So people get the same post every single time they search. I mean, shoe and shoes isn't really the best example because why would you ever tag something shoe? I mean, who would really just talk about one shoe? But I'm sure you get my point. So relevant and consistent tags is very important. Number 3 is rename your images. Like there's nothing worse than going on somebody's blog and you hover over the image and it says like image .6532.jpg. Like that's not descriptive for anybody. So when you're uploading the image, rename those tags to just say what the image is called. Like it's really not that difficult. Just what you see in the image, just write down what it actually is and write that for the title and the alt tag. And especially because of the alt tag, because for blind people who use screen readers, the alt tag is there for when they go through your blog, it sort of reads out what that image is so they can understand. So if they're going through your blog and they're going through, oh yeah, this is an amazing article, then they hit image .2632. It's like, well, they don't know what that is. So just change your tag so they do. And that's point number 3. Gosh, I'm going through these really fast, aren't I? Now, point number 4 is really use your Google Analytics. And for the basic reason of seeing what people are looking at on your blog the most, which allows you then to write more things about what they're looking at the most. And you never know, it could be what you find is your most boring post to write, but people really love that one. And you're like, what? But why do they really love that? Like, I thought that was really crap, but they really did. So maybe if it was an interview with somebody, maybe get a part 2, or maybe try and add some like behind the scenes features of that interview, or maybe go see them again for then a part 3, So try to use your Google Analytics to see what people are looking at the most so you can then write more stuff on. And also a good thing to use Google Analytics for is to make goals. So you can make goals for specific things that you want to achieve on your blog. So for example, people are on your blog for 2 minutes, but you want them to be on your blog for 4 minutes. So you can set that up as a goal and then put things down for yourself that you want to start changing to try and increase that. And by doing that, you can see on Google Analytics, is it increasing? Is it not increasing? Maybe I should change this. Maybe I should add this. Maybe I should remove this. So goals are really important because how can you measure yourself if you don't really set yourself goals in life in general? Then number 5 is share with your community. That's important. So like I always see people on Twitter and there's like the F bloggers talks and the B bloggers talks and the L bloggers talks, and they're really amazing, and you're tweeting about your content. It's also good to, when you go to networking events, in real life, then speak to people about what you're doing on your blog and also listen to what they're doing on their blogs. And if it really sits well with yours, like it's complementary content, then actually on your blog, mention them. Like, you know, you could either have in your sidebar, like top 5 things from around the blogosphere, or top 5 things from my community, or things you might also like, but from other people in your community. And that way you can build up this ecosystem of sharing other people's content, because if you share their content, like, I'm pretty sure they'll share your content. I mean, maybe if you're not going to share like Refinery 29's content, I'm not quite sure if they're going to share your content, but you know what I mean. Similar people in your community, they will share your content as well. And you could do it as a post, like a dedicated post, maybe on like a Saturday or like a Sunday, or you can have it, as I said before, on your sidebar, which is just constantly changing, just different posts from around your community that you think your readers will find interesting. So I think that one's really important, because community in general is really important. So creating a community on your blog is also important. So they were my 5 tips, and I feel like they went really quickly. So secretly I want to give like a bonus one. What's one thing that I really, really find important? I find important good imagery. Yes, that one's really important. Get yourself a really nice camera, like just invest. Get a nice camera, get to learn Photoshop, and just take really nice images, because there's so many blogs out there now, and like it's quite, like the competition is quite fierce. So if you're gonna have rubbish images, then like it's just not appealing for your readers. And especially if they're like really small, it's like, what is that? Is that a, like, I mean, what is she wearing? Like, what are those shoes? So big, luscious images from a really nice camera. Ideally not from your iPhone, but if you're saving up for your camera, then do it from your iPhone. But if you don't plan on saving up for your camera, then not from your iPhone. And then my 6 tips that I'd like to give you, and I've learned, I might do this again because I've got many tips. Those were the first 6 that I thought of. So obviously they're the most pressing. So yeah, those are them. And this was Chloe unedited, so there'll be no outtakes, because I'm sure there's loads of things that should have been in the outtakes. That's going to be in the final cut. Okay, take care.